Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to the second half of the episode, or from your
Oh, it was good.
Wow.
It was good.
Good timing.
Nailed
YouTube,
it.
it is so hard to cater to you. I don't know what you want, but I can't do it. So, but welcome back if you're on YouTube to the second episode. We're talking about episode 51 of Play Dicely, A Mind for Murder. Let's go. Woo! Okay, everyone. So we reconvene at the keep and discuss what might have happened to cause Ferric to attack the fake Hillip. And at this point,
We didn't know he was a fake Hillip at this point.
yeah, at this point, we have a rough assumption that doppelganger stuff is a part of it, but we aren't sure why or how. And then brackets, I wrote, "Oh, to live in blissful ignorance."
I suppose we should also mention, for those of you who are catching up, the Armadon Ferric Ironbender killed Learned Hillip Rowe.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Spoilers.
where were you? Why weren't you watching the last one? I'm freaking... Yes. A murder has happened, and it's up to us. Figure it out.
When is it not?
I know,
It's
it's always
spicy.
up to us. What the fuck?
Oh,
Yeah, we did learn some interesting doppelganger facts, which was helpful. Now I have to find what they were.
Oh yeah, that's right, because
Doppelganger
Azaria
fact,
was
go.
like,
yeah,
this is information about doppelgangers.
which was helpful because we didn't know that. So doppelganger is alien-looking, blue-gray skin. What? With eyes is their only feature? They
Yeah,
only
so
have
like the
eyes?
face is blank, just eyes.
Ugh.
Versus changelings are like more.
Wow, am I
humanoid.
glad. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But changelings are more human, but gray skin, like ghostly humans. Great.
Did I miss this entire conversation? I don't remember us ever talking about this. Okay.
It was
Probably.
right.
Okay,
It was
I'm
right at
taking
the
notes
beginning.
now.
Yeah, it was right at the beginning, and yeah, it was
It was
just
off like a check or
Rhea.
something.
Yeah, Rhea doing
Fair,
like
yeah.
a history check to see like what they knew about anything about changelings and doppelgangers. So we had that little piece of information. Yep. So yeah, we go to bed for the night. Gideon and Drac meditate for the first time, trying to find peace in a time that's truly gone to shit. It's the best time to start, for
Yep,
sure.
Real like nosedive into anxiety, and when Gideon like brought that up, I was like so completely forgotten about that entirely.
Yeah,
Just like, oh, okay, yep.
We
can
doing it
do
or what?
like now. Oh,
Like right now?
I wanna
Okay,
meditate.
jeez.
We can need it.
yeah, it is actually like, Gideon's therapy really coming through, because it probably is when you feel the worst that you should be like doing the things that are like known to make you feel better, like meditating, but
Mhm.
often that's not what you want to do. You
Yeah.
just want to go to bed. Speaking from personal experience. Yeah, the next morning we dive in for real. We reach out to the Learned Circle and offer to help with the investigation, and then we are summoned over to Gath's house, or mansion, I guess I should say.
He was pretty upfront about that.
Yeah.
Like, I have a big
My
house.
mansion. Not to brag, but I
Stop by my house. It's among the other mansions and other smaller places like that. You know.
Well, but I was curious because, like, so there's like two, because that's not where Nivara lives, right? She lives further north. So
Yeah.
I was like, we wanted to be like, how much fancier? Now I can ask you, how much fancier is Gath's place than like her place? Because she also lived in like a nice neighborhood. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like the same caliber of like cost of living. It's just a different neighborhood. It's like it's nearby, but
not really.
no, but it like
Not-
the
not
same
in this
quadrant
city.
of the city. Yeah, as far as quadrants go.
'Cause she's Lockwind Row, right?
Near there.
Oh, my brain started singing that song, like some. Never mind, it's fine. I can't even think of what I'm trying to do right now. The Longest Johns. Lockwind Row, None of this is important. I'm so sorry. All right, so we start interviewing the Learned Circle. Gath is drunk out of his mind because he's got the fear of being offed next.
Honestly, fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, they all seem like pretty rattled and like confused as to why this happened. We do a bunch of insight checks. They all seem above the board, which maybe doesn't matter. Who knows? Yeah, I don't think anything really, like, we didn't learn a whole lot. Just like, I thought it was gonna be like proper like murder mystery of being like, okay, so this person was there at this time and blah, blah. So I was like, I really started this
Oh, I
episode like
took my notes.
taking notes like that, like, okay, and then it just really went down the toilet. So
But then it was like, we live in a fantasy world, so there's probably some fuckery happening.
And there indeed was.
yeah.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We had one really fun scene before everything went to hell, and thank God for that. Which was Altea escorting us out and then asking us to look after her daughter, who we definitely don't already know, and to bring her home with us to keep her safe. This was so fucking hysterical. Like, I genuinely felt like I was on the verge of real hysterics during it. I've gone back and rewatched it multiple times now too, because it just really makes me laugh. So, thank you for that moment of levity. Teni, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I thought that would have been I thought it was a great opportunity. And also, it made sense for the character too.
So funny.
Yeah, it was really fun in the moment and then really concerning later.
Yep.
Yeah, that I was so excited because I think I had literally had like thoughts of like, oh, like what if like the whole like thing. I'm like, what if we had a ball and then like invited them and whatever. So the fact that you like spun around on me and was like, haha, gotcha, and I was so excited, and then I just nosedived into hell. So good, it was great. And then yeah, also this, I told you this on Friday, Teni, but it's something that's so funny to me, is that there's like a known like stereotype, but like kind of acknowledged in like lesbian relationships, the concept of U-hauling, which is that you move in together like really quickly in a relationship. And it is so funny to me that that's kind of what's happened here. Like,
that's funny. I didn't put that together. That's really funny.
And I'll admit I'm very ignorant of the gay culture and their practices, so yes, I accidentally did this.
Yes.
What a thing to announce in this month of Pride.
I'm sorry, I don't know a lot.
Really homophobic for you to say.
What?
Actually, just now.
Don't worry, Teni. I too am an uncultured swine.
God.
Oh yeah.
I love the community. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it truly was so funny.
Would you like to call me Indian? Go for it. It's fine.
Whoa! No.
Trades.
Not at all.
Yay, white
take
people
back
uncomfortable.
Damn, it works both ways. Anywho, yeah. Truly, I don't want to leave this moment because that was the last time I felt happy during this.
Yeah.
Okay, but we must persevere. We split into two groups with Rhea, Gideon, and Abe heading to Hillip's office to do some investigating, while the rest of us we pick up some stuff, but then we go to the temple to investigate Hillip's body and also pick up Nybara. The office group finds a dagger with evocation magic, Hillip's journal, very detailed, but especially talks a bit about his time in Balesville, and perhaps more indicative, does not talk about certain parts of Balesville. And right at the end, a reptilian footprint. Why? That's the only question I have, actually, for this whole section is, how dare you? We never learned, like, what the evocation magic was on the dagger, right? Just that it has it.
I should have gone with that group.
What is it now?
I mean, we still have the dagger, right? We didn't just leave it there.
No,
We
they
have
left
taken-
it there. That's
We-
that
yeah,
would
we
No
be
one
would've-
wanted to
interrupt.
touch it.
That would be
Yeah, that'd be taking
tampering
evidence.
with the
Yeah,
scene.
you can't.
We're the
can't take
heroes of
shit
the
from-
realm. Who cares?
The law.
Fuck the law.
We are
I'll-
the law.
I'll kill a man to take
That's
that
right.
dagger.
I am
Yeah. We're the judge, jury, and executioners. We do it all.
Baby.
That's what heroes do.
Well, I don't want to be
Solve
Judge, Judy, and
problems with
executioner.
indiscriminate violence.
No. We're really getting into some dangerous territory here. Let's just keep on going. Actual question though, am I the only one who hasn't like played in a campaign with intellect devourers before?
Probably.
Just
I mean, I haven't. I
Yeah,
just know a
yeah,
lot
there was
about
some
You
in
know
your
about
last game, right, Denny? Yes, there was.
Yes,
there
Yes,
were.
was.
there
Yes,
were.
there were.
They had a very small appearance.
Yes.
Boys of the last
So did I.
campaign, you guys really aren't.
Well, they did talk about it in this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
like, we went to break, and Adam was like, I think I know what this is.
Oh, but I didn't have my headphones on during break, so I didn't hear it until I came back. And then, like, yeah. So for behind the scenes, we cut at the reptilian footprint part, and then took our break. And then Adam was like, "I know," sent the thing about it, and then I started spiraling. So like, this is terrifying. I don't know. I've never. I guess yeah. Everyone was like, they were in the D&D movie, but I really was not familiar with them. So it's a bad time for me because I was learning what they are for the first
And
time.
it's a bad time when you know what they are as well.
Oh, they're so
Yeah.
cool. But it's when you know what they're capable of, you're like, oh no, we're in
This
trouble,
is-
gang.
This is the first time. Like, I've only ever seen them in a combat capacity. Like, I feel like I'm the only one who's been like, no, what you do with these things is you put them in people's brains.
That is
Yeah.
their purpose, yep.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen brains eaten in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Or a
I've had my
mind flayer
brain
has one
eaten.
as a pet dog.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
What?
It was a dog?
It could be
No.
a dog.
It's like
Oh.
a pet.
It could be a
Oh,
mind
I
flayer's
see.
dog.
oh.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like, go Spot, and he like throws a brain. And then
Orc. E equals MC squared.
It's funny if you don't think about
Can
it.
I ask a question about Hillip though? 'Cause
Hmm.
I'm confused why he sent us that note about trying to find the bird. I'm confused why that ever even happened.
His dumb intellect devour brain was like, I must appear normal, said note
Is
about
that
bird.
what it was? Okay.
Probably.
Well, in the journal, like him taken over did write about it, didn't he? To be like, oh, my bird's gone missing. Maybe someone will know something. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I think I wrote in my notes the day before he mentions that his bird got out, but he didn't seem super concerned about it. And I don't remember what that means now, but that's what I gleaned from it, from whatever was said.
Yeah. It
That's
also
sus.
might be like working off
Is
of memory. So like the memory that Hillip has of this bird is like a good one, so he wants the bird back, just like innately.
Maybe, yeah. I think I started writing notes about like, is it possible that it wasn't Hillip who sent the note, or that we couldn't trust the bird? But then things got crazy, so I stopped following that thread.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, it's the different objective vibe too, right? Because like Hillip's objective was always to be caring and kind, and he was a great pet owner. And when the thing got out, or when the bird when the bird got out, this intellect devourer was like, well, Hillip would probably try to solve it. So instead, Hillip would just solve it on his own because he knows his bird. Like he would know where it would go. He would know how to get it if it were to ever run away. He's a master, like, what's it called? Is it falconer? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a hawk though, but
And it's the same.
Same.
Yeah.
And who's to say he didn't try?
also that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, like, and we also, so jumping ahead a bit, like we found a note on his body that said like things are popping off soon or something.
Yeah.
That exact phrase actually.
It was
yeah.
exactly like that. It's crazy. But so we don't know what the motivation was, because there's a chance that like all, because wasn't there a thing like it seemed like he might have wanted to die.
Mhm.
So the whole bird thing might have been the beginning of putting this into motion, like sending it to us, like knowing that like we would potentially do something about it. Like we don't know, like there could be other things that like might have happened at the same concurrently, but
I would I think the bird thing was a mistake on the thing's part, and I think it knew it. And I think it was a matter of I need to direct attention away from Hillip Rowe by directing all of the attention directly towards Hillip Rowe. So this brain thing essentially saw the bird. We were asked to look into it, and then I think this thing just had a feeling like that we were looking into it.
well, then we did though send a message to Ferric before you guys went to talk to him.
Yep, and we know
So-
that there's just something with
Yeah.
Balesville, and they know that it's the brain things. It's the
Yeah.
I think I know how it works, like from a meta perspective, but Gideon would not understand this. Meta perspective, I believe it's a side effect of a hive mind, is that when you send to someone, you send to everyone.
But then doesn't everyone have to be in the hive mind?
Not necessarily. Well, like we sent to Hillip. Oh,
we
sorry.
sent to Ferric.
Right. Yes. Okay. Sorry, my mistake.
And then like in Balesville, it was, Elowin and Rhea connected. So
Yeah, and
The
then there
only
was
time
something
that
listening.
it's ever actually been said is when messages are in Balesville. It was when Azaria and I were in there, and then also when we were messaging Monty, he
Oh, that's
messaged it.
That's
But it's only ever been in Balesville that it's come up.
That's fair.
yeah. So we don't know what, if anything, is going on with our messages, but like the order of events is the bird gets sent, we send a message. So one of those things, or neither, potentially could have been like the kicking off point. And we just don't know, which is so fun for me. I love not knowing things. So it's great. I have a question for Teni that you're absolutely not going to answer. But I was thinking about like if Hillip would have always been the entry point for Ardrak to kind of weasel into Rolbar, or kind of like if there's like any other version of how like this story would have gone, like depending on like what choices we made or anything. But I can't imagine.
I'll say I kept my opportunities open.
Okay, I hate that.
Good for you.
He wanted to see which one of the Learned Circle we liked the most.
Ooh,
We could really twist the knife on us when it
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, just like I think it tracks incredibly hard that it would be Hillip that would go for Balesville. Like that just makes sense. With
Yep.
the moment we met
Yeah.
the guy and he was like, I have to go back to make sure this shit doesn't fall apart. It was like, okay. Like, that
when he
was
was like, I don't want you to come. And I was like, oh, this man's dying. And then
this
when
man-
he came back normal, I was like, okay.
This man is certified a corpse now.
wait. Didn't my mom meet with Kardrak?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Ooh,
I thought about this a
couldn't-
while ago and I didn't want to talk about it.
I thought
Oh.
I couldn't slip any deeper.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, I don't know what to do with that.
Who else went?
My sister. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like I just don't know what their plan is or how many of these things they have access to. So I'm like, like they went there to be like, we're not getting involved, and they're removed
It makes most sense that they are targeting Rolbar, right?
certain people. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a very little that I can grasp onto in this situation. I'm going to just tell myself that it's strategic and not just everyone, because otherwise I won't be able to function.
I think that's a good plan.
I think
I've
that's
got
wise as well.
So stressed out. I was stressed already. Even worse. Okay. Great. So the rest, everyone gets up at the temple to question Hillip's body. Woohoo! Ooh, it's just a nonstop joyride. So we learn about Hillip's last moments. Nothing like at this moment, like specifically like revolutionary, I don't think. Other than like the fact that he stopped being himself in Balesville, which at this point I don't think really surprised any of us.
I
It was
think we
just-
were surprised.
surprising, but also like it was confirming, I guess. Oh my god, Kumblai.
Great.
All right,
Hello.
just for you, Kumbalai, I'll read this out. Hello, this is Drak. Maybe your brain has been devoured and you are a living puppet replacement of yourself? Please reply quickly. Thank you.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Also,
Like,
I never
Gotta
thought
go
about these
knock
things
on
as,
someone's head.
as living puppets. Thanks a lot, Denny. Biggest fear. Great.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Really, like number one
And
thing
here
on
you
our
see-
consent checklist,
Listen.
like no puppets.
When you said puppets, I assumed the aesthetic of a Pinocchio type character. I did not assume that what you were afraid of was people not in control of themselves.
You know, I'm really discovering it's a big fear of mine I
That's-
did not know about.
Cool.
That's why
So-
we're gonna redo those consent forms sometime this month.
The next
Oh, no.
campaign.
We are
You
we are
gotta
in it
just
now,
scrap this whole
gamers.
thing.
Good lord. Great. I'm so flustered now. We did also learn our last question is that Hillip did trust the rest of the Learned Circle, whatever good that does us now. But you know, at least we know.
I think it was a good question to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Oh, and then we also kind of like learn about 4 other guards and how they restrained Hillip in his final moments. So we were like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
who are they? We need to get those names. This was probably where I stopped rewatching the episode because it was really hard for me to watch just like myself spiral and be like panicky, like we need to go do this, like we need to go do that. And it's just like, oh my god, like get it together. Not easily done.
It was a fair reaction though.
Yeah. What other major thing happened in this moment? Let me think. Oh, Naivara is a changeling.
Neat.
Cool.
I can't really bring myself to care at this moment.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's fine. Like, I think it ultimately is fine. It was just so added stress in the moment.
I love it.
So I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I remember I got so stressed in this moment because she came into the infirmary and we were like, go sit outside and wait for us. And then we were in here and I was slowly like piecing things together. And I'm like, she shouldn't be alone. Hold on a minute. Wait a second. Uh-oh. I remember starting to really panic throughout this where I was like, oh, put her back in this room. Hold on.
Well, and that was like, it was so scary because at that point in canon, we hadn't learned that it was in elective hours. Adam just
No.
floated that. So we didn't
Mhm.
really know sort of like what was happening. So she started changing. I'm like, fuck. Like, I thought it was going to be more sinister. And got really scared. No, Kumblai asked, like, she didn't know. Or maybe she did and was trying to cover it up. No, I don't think she did know. Because it's like, for people who were in the previous campaign, like Adam's character, who is her father, was a changeling, right?
Yeah, he ended up body swapped into the body of a changeling.
Right. Which that whole thing still confuses the fuck out of me, but I've just decided it's fine. So, but that wouldn't have been common knowledge, presumably. Like, I don't know. Like, was Adam's character?
He learned it. The party in the last campaign learned that. They were all aware that he was a changeling.
Was Altea ever an actual NPC that you guys ran scenes with, or was that just like a full epilogue decision?
Fully epilogued.
Interesting. I want to know if what the fuck was his name?
Arturos?
Arturos, thank you. If he ever told Altea, and like, does she know and maybe that's why she keeps like Nyvera on such a short leash.
Maybe.
It's not the time or place, but I might have to remember to try and ask her.
Yeah. I mean, Altea and Nyvara didn't exist until we started this campaign. Because I went to Ryan, Adam, and Logan. I was like, because we had their epilogues for the last campaign, but then I was like, okay, so we're going 50 years into the future. What legacy do you want to leave behind for your characters? So Adam was like, I want my character to have married and had a daughter. And I was like, all right, I will come up with those NPCs. And Adam had no idea who they were until we introduced them in the story.
Yeah. No, I know, like, it wouldn't be something you actually would have talked about, but, like, in canon now, like, I want to know, like, if they know or not. Like, I don't think Nyvara knows.
I think I asked her. If
You
she had
did.
any changeling blood, and she didn't seem to know in the moment.
She didn't know.
I think I insight checked her too, and she seemed like she was genuinely surprised. So
Yeah.
There are things that Adam and I still need to chat about with regards to Miles and Arturos, because
Your great uncle role.
yes, my great uncle role.
her uncle.
Yeah, specifically like, because that was found out after Arturos died, so it's a matter of like, I just want to chat with Adam, like, if it would be okay if Miles sort of looked out for that family from a distance or was up close and personal. Like, I just don't know what the relationship would be at that point. My investigating boy was investigating, so I don't know if he was there much, but I don't know.
Yeah. What? My brain is just like going through it. Yeah, in retrospect, it does make sense that like that she is a changeling from what we just discussed. Did anyone else think that was going to happen? Because I'm like, I knew those two things as completely separate facts, and I was like, this doesn't coexist at all.
I never thought about it, but when it happened, I was like, "Yep, that tracks so fucking
Yeah.
hard."
Yeah.
that makes so much sense.
Damn it. Was that something, Danny, from the beginning that you like when you like went ahead and like created these characters? Be like, oh, that would be interesting, or did you like bring it in later? The changeling aspect of it.
Do you mean of the original character or of Nyvara?
Like Nyvara, like when you like were making up like Altea and Nyvara at the beginning of the campaign, did you have it like that? Oh, changeling stuff, or was it just kind of reactionary?
Well, I mean, Adam was like, I think I would have married like a diplomat, an elven woman from the Wilder. I was like, okay, I can take that. And then I knew what I knew about his character. I was like, well, math equals this.
Oh, God. Yeah, I was talking to Anthony about. I can't speak at all. I was talking to Anthony about this the other night, but it's so interesting to me, like in D&D, how it is very influenced by what the players have interest in. And so like thinking about it, like removed, like if this was like a regular story or like a world existing like without like our influence, how like there's a version of this story where like, you know, like this whole like meet cute thing doesn't happen, and like if all this changeling stuff did happen with Nyvara, like she has no one that's there with her, you know, because like the only reason that she's so like involved in the story is because like of me, presumably, right? Like presumably she would have probably just been there, and then like maybe we saw her every once in a while, but wouldn't have been as big, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to think about, like
As
so,
you
like,
added more importance to her, the more I fleshed her out.
I thought that. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about D&D, I think. But yeah, so it's so cool to think about, be like, oh no, she would have been all alone. Or maybe she just wouldn't have been this stressed ever in her life because we kind of bring that with us. So
Our fault, obviously.
We are
everything
the-
is yeah.
We're the stressed people of Sicramund. That is it's our group.
Dressers of Sicramund.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's got to be.
I almost tried to combine stress and seeker, and I decided to not put those two together.
Streaker. Streaker. this is
I
anyway.
cast disintegrate on your clothes.
Great. So moving on, Elwyn and Rhea go to the Arcanet and confirm that it's intellect devours. Unfortunately, no information about how one does anything to know that they're there. So I didn't like that. So scary.
This is the bit that the story we read about was what happened in the previous campaign, right?
Oh, is
No.
that? No.
What?
No.
Did we not talk about this? Am I just making stuff up?
We might have talked like meta after the fact, because I'm pretty sure I wasn't immediately in once we ended the stream, because you guys had a chance to talk before
Yeah.
we did our
Yes.
our debrief, because I had to interact
Yeah.
with who we rated. So whatever you guys talked about, I don't know, but
Oh. Okay. Well, ignore me.
So there's a chance then maybe like Logan or someone was like,
Maybe that's what it was, because
Yeah.
I could have sworn someone was like, oh yeah, that's what we saw in the previous campaign. But okay, I'm just making things up.
no, none of them cracked open anybody's heads to check for brains.
mm.
Okay, well,
Well, that's great.
I'm a dirty liar. Ignore me.
Yeah, the only interaction that they ended up having in the last campaign was that Jason's character, Tascum Tuck, ended up getting his intelligence dropped to like 1. So he was just brain
Whoa.
dead. And he
A
was
feeble mind?
he was almost consumed. No, this was caused by the intellect devourers.
Ugh.
Yeah, they just
So-
have this ability where like they just do it every turn, and they just kind of like sap your brain from a distance. Like they
And
punch
then-
you, and then they sap your brain.
And then because you're at 1 intelligence, you're then incapacitated, which the next turn they'd have jumped into his brain. But everybody cleared them out before that happened.
Yeah, and then Tascum Tuck was just a meat sack for a while.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm a ranged fighter right about now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we're all about to be ranged fighters for a little bit.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think our front line is going to be running, and our back line is going to be running and shooting.
Weirdly enough, I like, obviously, yeah, well, probably it'll come up like in a combat thing eventually, but my current stress spiral is not super related to like us being devoured. It's more so the fact of like not knowing who already has been or is about to be. And that is the more stressful thing to me. Because I'm like, at least like I like know our group and what we're capable of. And I'm like, and it's also something I don't think Denny would do to us in secret either.
Well,
being
but
like,
it could certainly happen in combat. Don't you worry.
well, yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about this after the fact too, but like, if I was going to do that, I would have gotten permission from you guys beforehand. Like this,
Yeah.
if one of you was secretly an intellect devourer, I'd have confirmed that and okayed that, and not just sprung it on you.
Good to know.
So nice of you.
Yeah, so I think that at least like helped me like compartmentalize things, and the fact I'm like, that at least don't need to stress about right now. I'll stress about everything else. So, but yeah, while you guys are at the Arcanet, the rest of us go to meet Baldane at Frostjaw Tower. We go in to talk to him about the investigation. He's all like, is this about the 4 guards that died last night?
That's the clip I've rewatched 100
Yeah,
times.
literally.
So fucking funny.
I can't, like, you said it so cool. I was very impressed with your delivery for a few different things during this episode. It's like, wow, really keeping a straight face. on these
Thank you.
things. I was like, sorry.
Like he's
Nothing.
good at this. DM
You
thing
couldn't
or
have said
something.
a worse thing. It was so funny.
Wild.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Right here, as if things weren't awful enough, this is when I really got stressed, and it's like now. Cool. So, and this is where I wanted to get into like who we are choosing to tell things and not tell things to, because like the vibe in the room was like, don't tell him anything. but then like it seemed like kind of one of our next steps would be going to the rest of the Learned Circle and telling them what's going on. And I just got so lost. I'm like, but well, he's a Learned Circle, so we should tell him. And like, but then it was like, oh, but what if he's already the thing? I'm like, but they might already be taken over too. So what difference does it make? You know?
I don't think any of us really know. At the
Yeah.
moment. I think we are all doing the same thing in our brains.
Yeah, it was just so hard because I was really struggling. I'm like, in character and out. I'm like, I need a plan. Like, what are we doing here? Like, who? Like, even if we go to talk to them, like, what do we say to them exactly? Anything? Oh, it was so hard because I'm like, I like having like actionable things, and none of this felt actionable. It's like we can tell them, but if they're already taken over, what do you do?
In my mind, like the bad guys are going to figure out that we know stuff very quickly, or they already know, you know? So I think at this point we just start telling people what we know. 'Cause I don't think we're keeping it a secret. We've been poking around and everything. Once we start smashing open some heads.
Yeah, which we haven't actually done yet because we did go down to investigate the 4 bodies, but then it was just this conversation of us being like, yeah, I wrote down, we go downstairs to investigate the bodies, but we honestly do fuck all except I have a panic attack about the next course of action.
Yeah.
And like we already have a target. Like they already are aware of us. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that the news of us being like heroes of the realm has gotten to them. Oh, would have because of Hillip. Yeah, so they already know that. And they already were aware of us. They already sent assassins after us. So I think they're gonna be like, yeah, if anyone's gonna stick their fucking noses into this, it's gonna be them. So
Yeah, I don't think we're sneaking.
no.
I think we're doing a big sneak thing.
No sneaking for us. Oh yeah, this was kind of on par. Like I remember distinctly having a moment as Nell of like trying to figure out like morality in like when we were in Valenbridge at some point, and it was like we fought. There was like an alley fight with the Robin Hood crew and that perfumer guy. I can't really remember the details, but I just remember like afterwards being like, how on earth do you figure out like what is the right course of action when things are so complicated? And I just was like right back in that spot during this. Which then Logan pointed out to me, I actually was just, we talked so much in front of Nivara about how like anyone in the Learned Circle could already be taken over. And I feel really bad.
Yeah, that's probably a conversation we shouldn't have had in front of her.
It's so annoying because I feel like there's so many other things I was trying so hard to be careful about, like in terms of like protecting her, and it didn't even occur to me. I was like, oh yeah, she's here too. God damn it. Like,
Yeah.
so that's, yeah, I feel really bad. I feel super awful about that.
Well, she was gonna find out sooner or later too, you know.
Yeah.
I need to freaking traumatize her.
I mean, it could be worse.
I don't want to know how at all.
Like, okay, but here's the thing with these 4 dead guards I was gonna bring up earlier, but because we had that note from Hillip that was like, shit's going down tonight, and we thought it was just him, but all these other 4 brains popped out of their bodies too. Like something really was, like something happened last night. Did all 5 of these brains like make a coordinated attack on things? Because they all left their bodies last night, right?
Yep. That's
Yeah.
that spicy hive mind coming into play, gamers.
Yeah.
All right, guys. At the same time, get ready. 3, 2, 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of those like that was
But
the voice
so,
chat. They were all on
but then
Discord
it's
together.
also like, why did Hillip have to, like, did he antagonize Ferric? Like, what happened? Because it seems like the other 4 just popped out of their brains.
Like while the guards were sleeping.
Yeah, right? They
Yeah.
were just found dead in their beds. So the other
Yeah.
4 could just leave. Like, why? Or was that just like a beautiful happenstance that Hillip,
Well-
or maybe they left because Hillip died?
Oh, maybe.
And then, like,
yeah.
one of them was kicked out, so the other 4 were like, all right, we'll go too? I don't
Yeah,
know.
one of them got kicked out. God, I wish my voice changer was fucking on right now. I'd be putting on the radio voice, but it'd be like, first guy pops out of his head and goes into hiding somewhere, and then he basically radios the other 4, or is it 4 of them total, or is it 5? It's 5
5
total.
total that we
5
know
total.
of.
That we know of. So the first one radios the other 4, and it's like, So guys, yop out tonight. Okay, I'm out. I'm on the prowl. I'm looking for a suit. And then the other four are like, all right, tonight's the night, boys.
So
Suit
why
up.
did he write a note also? Why was there ever a note? If they could all talk in their
Plot
little
device.
hive mind brains.
Because
For us.
I refuse to believe that he's just doing things to make it easier for us.
Yeah, there's a lot that we don't.
This is the kind of shit I put up with as a DM.
We just don't.
He
know,
doesn't care
so-
about us.
Denny helping
much.
us not completely lose this world to mind
Yeah.
flayers. You're like, Denny doesn't want to fucking help.
Okay, was there not a part in the journal that's like, it was
Or it's a
basically
red
like,
herring.
there was something. Wasn't there something that was like, oh, it seems like he wanted to die, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
something that you guys found? So like, I don't know why that would be part of the plan, but it seemed like whatever this like instigating moment was part of it, or was like on the fly decision or something. But
Well,
Might have been planned eventually,
Let me-
and an opportunity presented itself.
yeah,
let me pose you all with a question then.
no, thank you.
With your investigation, Azaria deduced, or it might have been Abe. One of them deduced that whatever confrontation happened between Ferric and Hillip, it seemed that Philip was clumsy enough to make it seem like they wanted to get themselves killed. What was the outcome of that?
Eric getting arrested? Is that a big part of it then?
Ferric getting arrested.
They want Ferric. Ferric's a big deal.
Well, I mean,
I
like
don't know
you
if they
think about
suck
it.
all the air out of his body.
So there's
Well, they get Ferric. Baldane goes back to be the Armadon. Baldane is on his
Oh,
own.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Okay.
Look
They're
at
trying
you
to
guys, you're
separate-
figuring it
They're
out.
trying to pull the Learned
Yeah.
away from each other and then take
Well,
them.
and if you're thinking like you're doing kind of a coup, right? Like, yeah. So there's 5 remaining members of the Learned Circle and 5 intellect devourers. So that's like what I assumed would be the thing, but doesn't make it any better for my brain. Like, are they already there? Like,
No way to know.
and like, what do you do? You know, do we?
It might be possible to locate creature for that specific, for like one of them. Because I have a general idea of what they look like.
Well, it's a place to start, I guess. It's
Might
like,
be able to locate them.
you know, I'm thinking about the allies that we have in the city currently. Presumably, if they haven't also been taken over, because there's 5 that we know of, there could be more.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
This sounds like something the Malej could help with.
Yeah.
No,
there's-
I don't think they need to get involved, actually.
Yeah, because now Dallas is worried about Valoon getting eaten.
Absolutely am. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Saying they might know some stuff that we don't in character.
yeah.
And maybe he could tell us all about it from the Wilder. Maybe he just goes home, sends us a nice casual message about what he might know.
Safety.
Doesn't
Ellen was
have to
just
be
like-
Balloon who helps us.
I was just like, this is a great time to bank all your vacation hours and just take them and go home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Balloon, you've never taken a day off of work. Ever. In your life, right?
Leave.
Right?
Yeah.
Now.
Just well, because I'm thinking, okay, so like, if somehow we figure out that yeah, it's too late and everyone's already been taken, what do we do? Like, I'm thinking, like, do we? My instinct would be
Torch
to
the
go to-
city.
well, sure. I would think
Go
maybe
over
like
fire.
go to charity first.
Somebody already tried to torch the city. The guy stopped it.
True.
Stop
but
it.
yeah.
so we can start it.
Don't make me agree with the freaking Malden
Relation
people.
to.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
would-
agree with those crazy people.
Yeah, I would feel like go to charity first, and then like, do we just start attacking the Learned Circle? Because
Ooh, true. We should talk
well,
to
'cause, like,
Charity.
yeah, well,
Well, okay. you know, you're onto something because we can drop them to 0, and that makes the brain go out. But if the brain doesn't go out, we just heal them.
Yeah, we need a way to restore their brain though.
Yeah, because if the brain
But
goes
that's
out,
only
they're
Well, yeah, then they're just dead. Well, but then
Yeah.
they were
They're dead
already.
anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but
There's another way to get the
I-
brain out, but our characters don't know this, unfortunately.
It's so fucking annoying. I typically don't feel like I have an issue with metagaming, but this is the one time that I'm like, who wants to metagame?
Oh, Christy, you're our Laura Bailey.
What does that mean?
She just
She-
has to restrain herself from the metagame so hard, at least in the first 2 campaigns.
Yeah, but it's just okay. I just got that bracelet. I'm not fucking attuned to it because everything just was going off. And it has protection from evil and good on it. And I was thinking, like, if only I knew I could freaking use it.
I
But
mean,
if
if
I-
we know there's evil, you know,
Yeah,
it's not crazy to just try it.
both
Cast
are
it.
accurate, Cubuli. I could show you a really cool penis that I drew in one of my notes, but I won't. Wow. Oh my god, so much flattery. Thank you so much.
You may all
but-
have inspiration.
Sick.
What
You haven't
for?
given me inspiration in 2 sessions. It's about time.
Hook that shit in my veins.
Oh wait, I did use my inspiration though, so I will take it if that's a real offer.
No!
Okay, well,
Damn it.
we'll
No,
just be saying
Anthony,
things.
you should have inspiration because of that scene with your brother.
Oh, thanks.
You may have it.
Yay.
I'll just use mine on cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I just use mine to try and deceive Altea, so woohoo. Oh, I don't even know what I was saying anymore. I got so stressed out.
Prayer beads and
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah,
So like
reason.
there's a chance like I could stumble into this and the fact that like I would have like maybe I can cast it on someone, but
Yeah, I mean, the fact that shit's hitting the fan and you have a spell that's called Protection from Evil and Good, it wouldn't be far-fetched for a character to go, I need all the wards I can.
Mhm.
yeah,
Start throwing beads at problems and see what sticks.
I can't yet. I'm so annoyed that we're about to go into combat and I don't have it. Oh well. But then it's like, you know, if I just cast on someone who isn't afflicted, then but even so, if it makes the brain leave, then they're still dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's like I don't want to be.
They're already dead. You gotta
Well,
stop thinking that they're already
But
dead.
they don't have to be entirely. There is a way, like with high enough magic, right? Like, to
Wish.
Good wish.
it's a
We can still bring them back from that state.
Don't
even
look
if
at that stat block.
kill it, but-
Don't you do it. Christy, put it down. Walk away.
Drop it.
Put the brain down.
Drop it.
Yeah, like if a brain thing takes over a body, that person's dead. They have been dead for a long time.
there's like a, I think it's like one of the restorations can be cast to fix it, not or a wish. I think it's one or the other.
no, if
Right,
the
the
brain is
remove
gone,
remove
if the-
brain leg spell.
Well, but
If
there
it-
is. You're telling
if-
me I'm not allowed to look at it, but now I can't verify what it is. But I read it, and there is something that can like.
Yeah, because you shouldn't know that.
Well, I'm not gonna. We're not in game right now, so it's okay for me to like
Greater-
talk
greater
about it now.
restoration does not restore a brain.
Okay, well, we're fucking debating this when the answer's right there. So let's just move on because there is one. All I'm saying is, like, not knowing enough. Like, I don't think we would just charge into like trying to attack them. Like, I think we would need to go to like higher level allies to be like, what do we do? Because our plan was to leave, and I don't think that's going to be the case on the same schedule potentially that we had before. So that's all I'm fucking saying. I'm not going to look at the goddamn stat block. I'm angry now. Oh god. Cool. So we send Naivara back to the keep after debating this shit for way too long. And I'm just gonna hope everything's a-okay.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think we just
awful.
have to. We just have to believe that things are gonna be okay sometimes.
Out of game, not a skill that I possess quite easily, so a little difficult for me. But you know, hopefully Monty and my brother are fine. So everything's gonna be fine.
I mean,
Um,
I'm concerned about your mother now.
why would you bring that up again?
We're gonna move on.
It doesn't. It doesn't even. It doesn't make sense. Why would they waste their resources on that? there can't be that many intellective hours.
Well, I
Knock
don't
on
Right?
wood.
because that's the other thing. I'm like, where did he get them from? Because we know he can summon like void things. So is this like a void version? And that's
Probably.
I can't remember off the top of my head where intellective hours come from or how they're made, but what I do remember about mind flayers is that they do use things called breeding pools for their tadpoles,
Gross,
in which
first
there
of
is
all.
a great number of those tadpoles. So I imagine they have a similarly efficient process for printing brain dogs.
Right.
The 3D printer. Just one brain dog.
dogs.
Off
don't
you
like
go.
that.
Off the assembly line.
It knows tricks such as roll over, sit, and consume brain.
Yeah.
The
Just pull a
heal
brain
spell
out of a
did
guy
get
and
the
stick some legs on there.
intellect or the mind flare tadpoles out of our brain in Logan's campaign. So we just need to get to that point of magic.
Yeah. Let's see. 7 levels for me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Still a
think it's
ways
spell I
away
can
from
learn.
putting people's
Yeah.
brains back in their heads.
I also realized that, we got these diamonds for Raise Dead, but I can't cast Raise Dead.
You also
You
can't
can't?
cast Greater Restoration, and you
Nope.
got diamonds for that too.
Yeah, sure did.
Well,
Yep.
you can always hand them over to a practitioner when you need them.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what.
Got Revivify though, right?
Yeah, I got Revivify.
Yeah.
I need 2 more levels
Which-
in Cleric to be able to cast Raise Dead or Greater Restoration. So
Oof.
Which Anthony and I realized neither of us stocked Revivify.
Oh, great, guys.
So,
I can actually double check that right now because I wasn't too sure.
well, okay, in my defense, I don't remember to like change my spells every day, which is on me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't got that gang.
I've,
It's 'cause,
you
like,
know,
I
what,
just-
I'll,
I don't
I'll,
think
I'll
about
say
it.
this now because I've had this conversation with Dallas, in one-on-one. But like, I'm pretty lenient when it comes to spell prep because I forget to. I play spellcasters all the time. Like, as long as you haven't used a spell in a day and like it's reasonable that you kind of anticipated some of the things of that day and you're like, oh, I meant to prepare the spell, I'm fine if you swap a spell out like last moment. Just, kind of use your mind if it makes sense, or if you like be honest about it. I'll trust you guys, but that leniency is there.
Cool.
I'm just
All right.
picturing a scenario where someone like it tries to abuse that rule and they try to prep a really obscure spell. They're like, "I'm sorry, man. I really wanted to prep Stinking Cloud today."
Like, and I mean,
I'm-
I can input on that as well, being like, I knew what you guys knew going into this day. Yes, it would have made sense that you had that spell prepared.
That's one of the like goated spells, like counter spell. It's like, yeah, I'm surprised you don't have that every day.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
And I
say,
mean,
I do.
always
like-
have ready.
If however it was like just a combat spell, I'd probably be like, you got the combat spells you got. Unless you were like,
Yeah.
I know that this creature was immune to this going into this, I'd be like, yeah, you probably wouldn't have prepped that day.
unless you didn't know the creature was going to show up.
Unless you didn't know the creature was going to show up. But
Yeah.
yes, that.
Yeah, I didn't
What
think
knowledge
we
you
were
know?
getting into a fight today, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even
No, I
remember-
kind of get it.
If we die, we die.
I don't even know what I have, but I know what Revivify is not.
I
one of them.
do have Gentle Repose, though. I did prepare that in lieu of Revivify because
Oh.
it can
Okay,
just be like,
there you go.
hey,
But
All
that
right.
not-
means
this time doesn't count while you're dead.
Yeah.
that still has to be raised dead, right?
No, it can
No.
be Revivify.
It can be. Oh, okay.
It-
Oh, that's
It just basically
adds-
freezes their body.
okay.
Prolongs the minute to what, 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days.
Okay, well, that's something at least. But Denny said I could
Okay.
change the spell out, so I'm gonna remember that and do it after this. Hopefully, I'll probably forget again. But, alrighty.
I'm gonna remove Augury for Revivify,
So we make our way down
just in case.
to the prison cells to speak with Ferric. I feel like I do not remember your description of this area at all.
It's
Like underground.
it's a natural, like carved out of the natural stone. It's underground. Like
Okay.
the jail is basically like carved out of the stone, like multi-level, multi-paths, like flowing water running through, like slick
It's like a
stone.
cave?
Yeah, it feels very cave-like.
Okay.
You know what I remember about this? The fact that the guard locked us in here. I remember that detail.
Ooh.
That, like,
Yeah, it was concerning.
well, I think in the moment I was like, I don't think that felt as weird as it could have.
It didn't feel as weird in the moment until I started being concerned that all the air was going to be sucked out of this room. And then I got
Yeah.
concerned about making a quick escape.
Mhm.
I just feel like that's like standard when I think about prison tropes of being like, you got 5 minutes and they lock the door, and it's like, knock if you need anything or whatever.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't particularly concerned about the guard. That does feel like a thing that might happen. I am just concerned about the situation we're in.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
There is water in here, so you can get oxygen from that.
Rhea,
Okay.
Rhea could potentially
Yeah.
get out.
Great.
Oh.
That's all that matters then.
Give me 10 minutes, I'll draw another teleportation circle.
I'll make my character sheet for Amdus.
God. Yeah, so we discover one dead guard.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah, who looks like they had been suffocated by magical means. And then we head up to the second floor to find Ferric being suffocated via an orb of air, which is what we encountered on the airship, which I
It's
didn't
pretty
realize.
much invisible. It's basically swirling air.
So for my own, I think I already asked you this, but on the airship, I thought it was just like someone with invisibility on them that I had encountered. Is that not the case?
That
Was
is
it more
not
like
the
a
case.
creature?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looked like more like a swirling thing on
Like
the
you-
airship.
Pretty much just can't see it. It's air.
But it was able to pick up a dagger.
Magic.
I don't like that.
Also, I would like to say a creature can't fit, like a humanoid can't fit in a bag of holding. A bag of holding isn't elastic. It's got like a certain opening, right?
Okay.
So,
What?
meaning a human couldn't have been in the bag.
I never thought there was a human in the bag.
Yes, you did. You thought it was Sarze.
I thought she had teleported onto the ship, but she was invisible.
Reached into the
I
bag.
do.
And,
Oh.
and then reached into the bag.
I specifically said something has come out of your bag.
Yeah, I do
Oh.
remember. I do remember that conversation going down that road of like there might have been a somebody in the bag.
Oh,
Wow.
I
I
did
don't
not think
remember.
I think I knew that
anything.
either. Interesting.
my
be
thought was
fair-
like,
Not how I was
oh,
picturing it.
an invisible thing reached into
I
the
thought-
bag and
yeah.
That's
pulled
what I
out
thought,
the
too.
dagger.
This is me thinking about it in retrospect. There's a chance I said something very different during, but I was also in a crazy headspace because that
Yeah,
comment
that
went
was
very
a
poorly for
very
me.
bad episode for you.
So my brain was probably just like mush. Okay, do you want to describe for me what happened on the airship now that
Yeah,
it's
can we go
fresh?
back to
So
Just so-
essentially, your sai flew out of the bag, or the sai flew out of the bag.
Right. But but instead of, because I think if you described it as that, then yeah, I'm reading it as like it flew out because someone like grabbed it, but it flew out as if like something came out of the bag with it.
Like a gust of air exploded out of the bag, and there was the sai.
Fascinating.
I
What
don't.
the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
I could have been more descriptive in that moment. I probably should have. But being on an
Sure.
airship,
Yeah. Why would you think
where
it
it
was
is windy,
air?
In the
Yeah.
air, where there's air around.
there is air and there is forward momentum.
Yeah.
The air is angry with you.
Like extra air really wouldn't have felt like much of a thing.
This
So
air
the
was
sai flew out of the
strong.
bag.
When we killed Sarze, what happened to her sai?
When you encountered her that last time, the sai was actually transformed into more of a phantasmal thing. So it basically just vanished when you killed her.
Convenient.
Like that. Okay.
Bonded weapon, I assume.
Yeah. Well, this is bad. So potentially we're fighting,
The literal air.
yeah, air or like another one of these assassins maybe, but we don't
Maybe.
know.
Now I'm
Like,
confused.
some
What was
kinda
that doing in your
elemental-
bag? How did it get there?
Yeah, how did it get in my bag?
How long has it been sitting
Maybe
in
it
that
was
bag?
bound to the dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Sarze plus her little air friend.
Her familiar.
Her familiar air.
Her familiar
Yeah.
just is like a strangling thing.
Hmm.
It's like an
That's
air
cute.
version of a slithering tracker.
That's literally what I was thinking.
For
What?
for the
Invisible
folks who
stalker.
are fans of Critical Role, such a creature might have been featured in the Briarwood arc.
Oh shit.
But
A
The air
vampire.
thing?
the air thing.
I don't. God, this is the hardest thing. I love D&D so much. My
I know what it
brain
is.
does not link on to like any creatures for the most part, or
That's
like any
great.
items. So everything's brand new information to me.
No,
Like,
that's
oh.
fantastic. For those who do know, hey, you get the tidbit. For those who don't, it's exciting new information.
So now I'm
You
not allowed to
gonna
look that up.
learn
Is
soon.
that what you're saying? I had
We
plans.
can talk
tonight
about
to-
it after.
I was gonna rewatch the whole Briarwood arc tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
me
you're saying I
too. Wait,
can't?
What,
That
what
is so
campaign
many
is that in?
hours.
I'm trying to
The first
think.
First campaign.
I'm trying to think if they did it in the animated show.
In the
I think
show.
they did. I think they recreated that moment.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're gonna figure out what this thing is next episode. So
Yeah.
Well, great. Cool. Can't wait.
Your
to fight.
resident wizard is concerned about a creature that seems to be able to stop people from speaking. I am concerned.
Ah. Wait, do we still have the Cube of Force?
yeah.
Gideon does.
Yes.
Saw it.
Dallas has it.
Okay,
Gideon
so
has it.
Ugh.
yeah, we talked about moving it. I never have removed it from my character sheet. I don't know if we did actually do that.
Gideon,
we
do you
talked
have
about
it on
in
your
an after
character?
party? Yeah.
Do you have it on your character sheet, Gideon?
Rago pulling up roll 20.
If he's got it, we're gonna say he has it. If he doesn't, we're saying
it's
Elwyn
totally
has it.
fair either way. I just never took it off because we never really confirmed what happened.
What the hell's my password?
All right. We'll figure that out after the fact.
That.
But for tinfoil hat time, all I wrote is who even knows anymore. Don't put the hat on. There's no hats today.
There's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing. I just wrote who even knows anymore. Get rid of those hats, Teni.
I'm sorry, I
Delete
can't.
My God, you're gonna get banned
them.
for chat spam.
I can't be banned. I'm the streamer.
I, in fact,
That's what
have
you
not
think.
added it to my inventory yet.
All right, cool.
Elwyn?
Again, off stream. This isn't. We don't need it. We'll prep for the thing after. We don't need to do it now, because then it'll be a surprise for the people. Yeah, Kumbla, you are right. The hats were on the entire time, but they were very askew and disheveled. But we're gonna move now to the fun question corner because we're having fun. This is another one that I stole from Adventuring Party,
Nice.
which is what would your IRL dump stat and best stat be?
I think they're all dumb stats.
Oh.
What is my IRL dump stat?
Riveting stuff.
I'm thinking.
I know it's
I'm gonna say
yeah. Did you prepare an answer for this, knowing the question?
no. Why
What?
would I ever? Why would I ever prep anything?
I guess I think my
Those
dump stat's dexterity. Although I do have some
Yeah.
pretty, like I can do some pretty dexterous shit with my hands. Like freaking, I
Yeah.
used to do coin rolling. I do some flair bartending. So I don't know if it's my dump stat. It's like I'm just like 10.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I feel like I don't have like a dump stat. Like I feel like I'm at least 10 across the board. But like maybe everything else is an 11 in that case, and like maybe I'd say my strength is 10.
I feel like
Yeah, I might put strength as my dump.
Yes, I guess strength might be. I don't know. Strength's a 10. Average strength, I feel.
Yeah.
I think charisma is my best stat. But I don't know what my dump stat is.
Well, I'm looking at the skills, and maybe wisdom's my dump. I'm not very perceptive. I don't know anything about medicine.
I think
Bible.
I'm not even.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking about the skills because there's a lot of skills that I don't actually have. But
yeah,
like,
I'm just trying to see what relates to what.
Like, I feel
Yeah.
like wisdom would be my greatest stat, and I would have like expertise and insight.
That's
I'd
interesting.
agree
I
with
like that.
You are really good at Among Us, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're also a
Yeah.
very good liar, so because everyone trusts you implicitly.
So just not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. They're a lesson.
I feel like I'm having a weird thing because I want, like, my instinct was to say constitution because of the chronic pain, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm handling it. So does
Yeah.
that balance out? Handling, I don't know.
How much liquor can you hold, and can you take a punch?
Yeah. So is it like you've got a 10 constitution, but you have disadvantage on constitution saving throws?
Oh,
That's interesting.
You know, in that case, I think Constitution is my dump stat, but I have advantage on Constitution saving throws.
Maybe my constitution is like normal, but I have a cursed item.
And proficiency and advantage in con saves.
Oof.
But dump stat.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
yeah,
you're-
no, my pain tolerance is low, but boy, I can withstand pain.
You were hoping the proficiency would at least level it out, kind of.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Constitution is my dump stat, and charisma is my best stat, and then intelligence is like a 12 or a 13, maybe a 14. Could be.
I think I would do like either wisdom or intelligence are my dumps, and then probably like dex is my good stat.
Ooh.
I'm pretty athletic.
That's
I
it.
put Dex
But,
is my top as well, but only because most of the time when I'm walking with people, I switch sides and they never know where I am. I'm constantly walking with
You're so
people and they go,
sneaky.
"Where'd you go?" And I'm just on the other side. So I think my dexterity is decent, unintentionally, but it's there.
I think, well, yeah, Dex is probably one of my dump stats as well, because I'm constantly fucking hitting myself on things. I have a massive bruise on my leg. I don't know where it came from. I must have run into something. Don't remember happening, but that's always the case. It's just like, yeah. I guess charisma is probably my highest. I'm so charming. Yeah. It's definitely not intelligence. Well, did everyone answer?
Yeah, I believe so.
So?
Great. Well, team, thank you so much for joining us as we discuss these episodes of Play Dicely. Even though they were stressful, and talking about them made me even more stressed out. I think we've confirmed what our next episode is.
It seems to be a tentative July 9th. I have to
Okay.
confirm final things.
All right. So for now, I will say our next episode will be on Sunday, July 9th here on Twitch at 6 p.m. most likely. But if you want the most up-to-date information, join us on Discord, because that is where we let everyone know what is going on. And you can join us for some fun conversations there as well. If you have any questions going forward about future episodes or even past stuff of Play Dicely, you can send them to me on Twitter at cbkclo. Or email them to me at cbkclo@gmail.com, or again, join us on Discord. We have a whole channel just for that. That's all for us. Hope you don't stress spiral too much in the next couple of weeks, because I certainly will be. But we invite you to join us next time on Play Dicely After Party. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Now
Bye for
let's
now.
go raid Laura K483.
Yay!
Say hi to her from us.
Quick shout out to Tim from Tabletop Audio for the music that you will be hearing if you're listening to the VOD right now on the Play Dicely YouTube channel. And hey, while you're there, give us a quick subscribe